The rain has cleared, and that's good news. It's still an overcast and cool day. It's also nice to welcome to the microphone one of the great ruckmen of the game in Jim Steins. Welcome, Jimmy.
Yeah, it's good to be here, Sandy. This is going to be a terrific day. I'm just looking out on the ground. Looks like Carey's starting on the ball, and Kudafidis is in there as well.
Look forward to talking to you too about the ruckman, because it looks as though Alan is going to have to take on 2 or 3 possibly today. More about that in a moment. Let's go down to the boundary, and the king of the riders is with us. Dipper, welcome.
Thanks very much, Sandy. Look, the terrific conditions consider the rain that we've had. A slight breeze heading towards the city end, and look, I'm looking forward to this game. On the bench are the Kangaroos, Capuano, Durkee, Clayton and Calthorpe, and for the Blues we've got Mansfield, Manton, Fletcher and Houlihan.
Brett Ratton won the toss, Dipper, in his 200th game, and the Blues are going to kick to the left. Down towards the half-forward line it goes. A fierce tackle by John Blakey locks that ball up between centre and half-forward. This ground is in immaculate condition, as Dipper said. One of the best surfaces in the competition. Allen up against Burton.
Just some of the matchups. Martin, who's playing, as we know, 250 games, was picking up Hamill.
Carey, as we can see, starting on the ball, and he gets a kick out wide. Andy McKay leads in the race. Sockers off the ground, close to out on the full.
And Kudafidis is playing on Wayne Carey, so what a great matchup.
Motlop to bring it into play for the Kangaroos. Motlop looks towards the 50. Silvani used the body, but then failed to take the mark. McKernan might make him pay. Goes in towards full forward. Smashed away from Hickmott. Down towards Ratton it goes. He's taken to the line, but he makes sure the ball is with him. What a wonderful player he has been.
Got that big margin
Carlton
on Hamill, and we've got Archer on Whitnell. Some terrific matchups all around the ground here.
Yeah, not forward. McKernan on O'Reilly and Silvani on Scholl.
And Lee Colbert is lined up in the forward pocket, being picked up by Ange Christou. Scholl tackled by Silvani, goes to ground. They'll pile on top. Shannon Grant on the Norm Smith medal in the grand final. Wants the free kick, he'll get a ball up.
We had heavy rain about, half an hour before the game started, lads. I've got to tell you, this ground is just superb. It's really soaked it up. Expect a fairly fast game and a good marking game as well.
And looks in great condition. So a chance for the Kangaroos. Spider Burton played so well last week against his old side. There's Colbert. He's had a lot of trouble with injuries apart from his knee injury. There's a chance straight away. Quick snap. Off hands and through for a behind. And came from Adam Simpson on screen.
It's good to see there the big fella in Burton going forward and actually getting in front of Allen and bringing the ball down to his teammates.
Carlton unbeaten at Optus so far this year. Their home ground, of course. They've got a very good record. Silvani setting himself. Out the back as Carey slides over.
Obviously, it'll be very interesting to see whether Carey will stay on the ball. I'm sure at times during the game he may find himself going forward or dropping into defence.
Both of these sides, 7 wins and 3 losses. Percentage will certainly play a part, however. And Carlton has a pretty good percentage of 122 as they go in towards the Midland. Lappin, he's set upon, loses. Out it comes to Camporelli. Scott Camporelli goes inside 50. Lance Whitnell is the target, beaten by Archer. Loses it. Shannon Grant is there to lend good support. Gives it away to Peter Bell, who cuts across the other side, and he comes wide to the diving Brent Harvey. Scholl wants it short. Goes up towards centre wing. Big pack of players again. Could have been some pushing out, and it's going to go the way of Carlton to be taken by Aaron Hamill.
Scholl came a long way down the ground there to get it, and Silvani just stayed back and was able to help his teammate out there.
Hickmott, that was a big ask, and he did extremely well. Magnificent mark, and the pass is a beauty to the big Lance. Lance Whitnell, 46 out.
It's really important. It's guys like Whitnell, if he can really start to be a really good focal point at centre forward, that may force someone like a Carey to have to come back. And obviously both coaches will be trying to get mismatches.
An important first kick, swinging back. Not enough. And the first score for the Blues goes on the board.
Well, we see Glenn Manton and Mansfield sitting on the interchange bench. Simon Fletcher there as well, and young Ryan Houlihan in his first game. Pickett to bring the ball back into play. It's been a tough opening. Shoal, keen to get a couple of early touches because he's really struggled for form. There's a shocking kick out and marked by Brett Ratton in game number 200. So what a start this will be for the Blues. If he kicks it, you'll see the reaction. Every Carlton player will run to Brett Ratton. Pickett, usually very reliable. He was looking for Archer. So Ratton. He's had, again, a magnificent season. He's booted 10 goals for the season from right on 50. He's going to drop short. No, bit too much carry on the ball, off target and through for a minor score.
Just KB on that. It's really important that you do kick those goals because that puts a little bit of pressure on the kicker. The guy's kicking the ball out, but when you kick a point back, then it just, you know, he feels a lot better and gets his confidence again.
Well, take two is better to Simpson. He's run down. Good enough to get his kick in. It's a short one. And Allen building the wall. Marks across half back. He'll pump the ball inside 50. Hickmott's the target in front, over the top. Pike, the big fist away. Knocked on that time by Pickett. He's played a little bit on the forward line this year as well, as has Martin Pike. Makepeace. Some fancy footwork. Comes away from the half-back line. Pumps it back. Allen's going to get back. He'll get support. Christou. Just trying to refine his very, very best form. They share the ball around. Tickles the ball towards the line. Colbert. Happy to see the ball over for a toss back in.
I'll be interested to know the sort of breeze that's down there, Dipper. It seems to be coming across the ground.
Yeah, Jimmy, like normal here at Optus, so it comes across the ground. If any favouritism is going towards the Carlton end, maybe 2-goal breeze.
The Kangaroos are going to go into attack. Bell screaming out for 50 the way that ball was delivered back to him.
When was the last time we saw this ground packed? A fantastic sight.
Yeah, it does look good, Dipper, doesn't it? Peter Bell on the outer wing to send the Kangaroos well inside 50. Carey well underneath the ball. Christou's at the back. Should clear. Well, he comes wide now. Whitnell and Martin. The race is on. The 250-game veteran slides to the line. And Mick was pretty happy to see that over.
Looks like there's been a change there because Archer was playing on Lance Whitnell and now Mick Martin has moved across. Looks like he's picking up Lance Whitnell.
Archer's got Hamill.
Yeah, he's come a long way up the ground too, Whitnell.
Burton, as KB said, has become somewhat of a cult figure in recent times. Bell has the free kick. And the whistle went in the mouth. I think he thought about 50. Instead, he plays on and goes short to Shannon Grant. Now he's a left footer. 55 out. Drifting it in towards the pocket. The kick's OK. McKernan will have a shot.
That was a great kick there, KB, just the way you set up that kick.
Well, McKernan was the person who really worried him last year in the grand final. They had no height to match McKernan, Jim. And this year, of course, they recruited Stephen O'Reilly for maybe a role such as today.
Yeah, no, definitely. But I'm just looking up the ground here. There's not one Carlton player forward of the half. Like, even Whitnell's playing very deep, but I'm not really right up the ground.
So Corey McKernan for his first. He just sends it sliding across the face. No score.
That's been his weakness, I think, in his game of recent times. Corey McKernan, just his inability to convert goals when, you know, you would think a player of his ability that he would be able to convert.
Silvani goes very, very short. In fact, really has made no distance at all. Beaumont. Oh, Spider gets underneath it. Almost took the mark. Hickmott in there, so too was Motlop, and Simpson gets a short little toe poke towards the 50. Piggott, deft little hand pass. It's still OK. King around the body, in towards the forward line. The bouncy ball just about eluded the lot. Silvani got a touch to it, but is kept in play. The umpire was caught late. Play on, he says, and Bradley does. 36 years of age. It ricochets away from his teammate towards Burton. They're not out of trouble yet, the Blues. It's on the half-forward line. Harvey taken off it and may have accentuated that fly to the line as O'Reilly sees it over.
In the last 2 or 3 minutes, lads, the wind has certainly picked up, coming across the ground, as Jim mentioned, in Carlton's favour.
Burton again, this time out the back. McKay, Ratton and co had it and lost it. Hurried high ball. Koutafidis towards Whitnell. Whitnell, he almost juggled that. Lappin out the back door. Wants Camporelli. Blakey was even more determined. An attempted kick off the ground by Grant, almost in danger. Tough and hard at the moment, as you would expect. Whitnell trying to get it on towards Allen. Pike is hard and he's tough. And he continues to go. Archer. Allen down, but he's picked himself up. Carey Back towards the middle. Burton is the man. Spider, 2 grabs as light rain starts to fall.
Just too tall, but a great grab under the conditions. Big Spider finding his best form. He was terrific last week against the Dockers. Spots Pickett wide. The loose player is on his Harvey. That's a poor kick. Lands in the arms of O'Reilly. Not quick enough to get away. Pounced on by Harvey. A dangerous player. Pickett, take 2. Finds McKernan. Too far out the score. Good 70 metres under the conditions. Colbert says pump the ball to the square. This is a good kick, a good centering kick. Big pack of players. Carlton and Koutafidis. Well, he's complete player now, Koutafidis. His confidence is high as Bradley pumps the ball back. Archer ran with the flight of the ball. It was hit hard by Whitnell. McKay was clever play. Whitnell through the centre square. There's no one home. Just had to wait for the handball to Lappin. Weighs up his options. Decides to go bang with a big torp. It's a big kick. He's kicked the goal.
That was incredible. Jimmy, he could see that he had nothing.
That was unbelievable because, and Whitnell, fair play to him, he just held the ball up. He waited till he could find a teammate. Got it to, as we saw there, to Lappin, but that was just unbelievable. Like, he came for the ball. It was a beautiful tap over the back there by McKay, but Whitnell knew he couldn't kick it deep because Lappin was the only player, waited for him to go forward, and then Lappin turned around, looked for Camprielli, couldn't give it to him, and he's just launched into this big torque from about 65 out.
A thinking man's goal. Whitnell, Lappin and McKay all combining for a beauty. Back in the middle, Allen and Burton. Back to Spider again, loses it. Franchina can't get a clean run at it. Bell will soccer off the ground. Little toe poke, only goes a couple of metres. Bradley working hard at the bottom, was almost pushed onto the ball. Flick towards half forward. The Blues are starting to settle a little here. Lappin put under the pump from Fletcher. A hot it was. Now Hamill. He's from 50. He lets one go. What have you done? Aaron Hamill.
Well, you've got to give it to Carlton. They're playing really well in the tight clinches, and they know the ball's pretty slippery out there, and you've really got to go in and get it. And the skills aren't, you know, silky skills on a day like this because it is so wet. But as you just see here, they just kept getting the ball forward, and eventually they had numbers there. And from 58, not a bad kick, one step. I just got to say that it's interesting. They're playing a bit of this Parkins paddock rather than Pagan's paddock.
Great start by the Blues. They lead by 13 points. Hamill's now booted 17 goals for the season. Dangerous forward line. Houghton also inside 50 for the Blues. Spider hands on the ball. Koutafidis with strength and then a roll of the shoulders. Camporelli to Hume. The Blues straight away back inside 50. It was a great smother. Half volley was met by Houghton. Mighty Mick pumps the ball back to the edge of the centre square. Bradley, desperate play. Got a fist to the ball. Simpson, a touch of the fumbles. A rare mistake. Bradley, the tackler, has forced the error. Winston Abraham came in hard, picked up by Pike, pumps the ball back, bounces to the half-forward line. Needing a kind bounce was Motlop. Maybe got a shove in the back. Not played.
Silvani now has Carey.
Yeah, it's obviously Carey has drifted forward, which will mean Koutafidis now will probably get himself a new opponent.
Yeah, Blakey, Jim.
Yeah, Allen's now drifted forward as well.
So you can see a lot of players milling around. There's been a lot of changes in terms of personnel picking up the opposition. But the old duo, Bradley to Camporelli. The dangerous pair, midfield guns for the Blues. Getting the bounce he wanted was Allen. Screaming for the ball is Koutafidis. There's a big kick. Kouta! Well, his confidence is so high. He's running all over the field. And he goes short and finds Lappin.
A big test for Simpson, isn't it, on Koutafidis?
Again, they share the ball around. And here's another short kick. Hickmott. So there's 4 kicks and it only went 20 metres.
Oh, that's one way of rattling a defence.
Oh, definitely. And they're a lot more dangerous. Like, they've been inside 55 times. This is their 6th. They've kicked 2 goals, whereas the Roos have been inside 55 times for 1 point.
Directly in front. Hickmott hammers it home. Okay, I know there's a bit of a breeze there, but this would have to be worrying signs for the Kangaroos.
You know, they're here at Optus Oval. I know they've beaten them the last 6 times, but they don't seem to have their heads tuning in for this game today.
Well, they did struggle in the first half last week against the Dockers. They trailed by 3 points at half-time. One of the biggest turnarounds I've seen in a game when they won by 88 points. So it was a 91-point turnaround. So Carlton, of course, a bit better than the Dockers.
A confident start by Carlton. They lead by 19 points. Burton and Allen, who can win it out of the middle. Grant got a hand to it. Ratton was there. Grant goes again. Sockers it off the ground. Down past Motlop. Down towards Colbert. Can't get a sniff at the moment. Motlop is there to assist. Rice on his hammer. Close to the boundary line. Keep it in play. Scholl's got to beat a couple. McKay comes over the back and slams it through. Considia behind.
Abraham come off the ground for the Kangaroos and Shane Clayton going on. Go up the forward line. So maybe ask you for a little bit more height up the forward line for the Kangaroos.
Thank you, Dipper. Christou to bring it back. McKay's been a very good defender for Carlton. 165 games today. Hickmott, he's everywhere. Figured in that goal just moments ago. Beaumont loose. The left foot is going to have to be quick from half-back. He'll look towards Allen. Burton is there with him. Hamill got a hand to it. Pike goes to ground. This may open the door for Archer. And it does. Like a Mack truck. Through he comes, Glenn Archer. Flying towards half-forward. Again, a big pack of players with King waiting down in front. Carlton steady. Christou gives it to McKay. McKay wants Allen wide. He's giving Big Spider the run around at the moment. Left foots it towards Ratton. He's down to left half-forward. Fine smother by Martin Pike. And he takes it to the line in somewhat deliberate fashion, disguised pretty well.
I reckon they'll probably have to bring Capuano on a little bit because Allen's running forward a lot, causing a few problems there in Burton.
Whitnell used the body trying to find Ratton. Bell intercepts. Bradley down in front. Touched off the boot, so Archer will have to play on. He does now. It's a poor kick. Hamill can't take it on the half volley. Pushes wide to Bradley, who gives it back to Silvani. Silvani, clever kick.
Great eyes.
Great spotting, wasn't it? And here goes Whitnell. Long in towards goal, but he starts it right. Tell you what, this is a devastating opening, Jim.
Yeah, but it was great eyes there by Silvani because he looked up and there's just Kangaroo players everywhere and he just spotted Whitnell out of the side of his eye.
So Pickett brings the ball back into play, finds Simpson. Squeezed up in the back pocket. Blues by 19 points, 3-3 plays, 2 behinds. It's been a great opening. They look very, very sharp. And a fair bit of rain this morning in Melbourne. Not raining at the moment. Thump back, Makepeace across half-back. They'll share the ball around Bell. So they'll backtrack, retreat to Simpson. Stands and delivers, pumps the ball back. A big pack of players thumped away at ground level. Harvey, dangerous player. To centre wing, Rice, underrated. Dogged. McKay has been magnificent play to Rice. He drills it to the half-forward line. Thumped away, good defensive play. Kurtafidis, those magic skills. Sets it up to Franchina. Kicks a high ball back to centre half-forward. And Blakey reads it well. Over 300 games. Grant under a lot of pressure. Blakey, some good chasing and tackling by the Blues. Haphazard kicking into the forward line. Blues cleaning up well. Camporelli to Hickmott. Has he been lively in this first quarter? Inside 50. Hamill's got 2 to beat. Carey, the big fist from behind. Pounced on by Ratton. The juggler's got it. Feeds it off. Camporelli does well on the burst. 50 out. Archer. Through for a behind.
He's got plenty of numbers around the balls. A lot of the Blues players is backing each other up, just running through the lines, giving the teammate plenty of options.
Just something there, not often critical of Carey, but he just in his stumping back there, he actually punched it back into the centre half forward, which allowed the Carlton players just to pounce on that and Whitnell. But something Carlton doing very well is they're getting extra men back into defence.
Carlton team rule seems fairly apparent. Play on at all costs. And it's certainly paying dividends at the moment. Makepeace, Hamill, Grant, Makepeace again.
He's had a good start.
He has. Kicks back in towards the middle. Burton loped towards it and lost it. Clayton's hand pass is okay towards Simpson. Now a chance for the Kangaroos. Long into full forward. Christou picks himself up and he'll concede it behind. King gets a boot to it. Not there yet, but Colbert does in the end. Well, Lee Colbert.
Thought he might have been a bit unlucky, Jim, not getting a free kick from Ange Christou. I thought he really did here manhandle Colbert. I mean, straight away he's got his arms around him and virtually drags him to the ground.
Yeah, no, definitely, and he followed it up, which was good. Great play there just to keep the ball in play. Good desperate from King.
Ange Christou desperately trying to find the line with that fist. Wasn't strong enough, and Colbert has his first goal. 9 plays, 22. We go back to the middle. Burton winning the tap, but who wins it out of the middle? Bell was a target, but he didn't get a hand to it. It came to Simpson's short little kick, and then to Beaumont. Beaumont goes long to half forward. Whitnell and Hamill are both there, so too is Ratton. Claim, but he got rid of it. Kuda, his danger. Kuda Fedes, big kick, pulls it too far, and another behind.
Gee, I'm really impressed with the touch of Kuda Fedes at the moment, even in the greasy conditions, and that's been the highlight of his game over the last 4 or 5 weeks, just the beautiful ball handling.
Yeah, no, I agree. Just another move now. Carey's come back on Whitnell, which obviously would please David Park and being able to force him into defence, because Carlton have had taken 6 marks inside 50 to the Kangaroos, and they've only had a single mark.
Grant pinpoints it to McKernan. It's a long, long way up the ground. He's on the half-back flank. Riley's his opponent. So Scholl, very difficult to mark when you're leading towards the boundary line. Not much room for error, particularly when you've got Silvani.
You mentioned there,
right next to you.
McKernan having to come that far up the ground. He needs to be marking the ball inside 50.
Durkay on the interchange bench, and we can see inside 50 the Blues 11-8, but they made more of their opportunities. Been very clean. Kuda Fedes again with those sure hands. Kicks a high ball. Carey reads it well. He's a magnificent player. Mighty Mick comes through the centre square, just pumps the ball wide, kicks it to space.
Chase that.
Ange Christou in front of Colbert. He'll be keen to just paddle the ball along in front. He needed some support. King couldn't handle it. Kicked off the ground by Beaumont for a boundary throw in.
So again there on that attack by the Kangaroos, Carey, when he gave off the handball, he should have put in a Shepherd. And that would have allowed Mickey Martin to have a bit of time to look up.
Well, I think Mick kicked it where he wanted to, out in front. He was hoping that Colbert could run onto it, but Christou did read it well. Simpson winning a bit of the ball in this first quarter. McKernan's the target. O'Reilly, the big fist away. Here's Harvey, dangerous player. He wants to set it up. He wants a centering kick out in front. He's got Grant. Should turn back onto his left boot. Good defensive play by Silvani. It was magnificent play. Got his body over the ball. Closed quickly. Harvey runs on hard. Scholl from 45. Again, a magnificent kick. And Shannon Motlop, who was so good against the Dockers last week, an emerging player. Just a young player when he played in the grand final last year, just playing his 16th game. He's a big improver. And generally, he's a very good kick.
Great centre there too by Scholl.
Motlop directly in front, 30 metres out. Kicks a goal.
Well, if you ever think that the Kangaroos are out of the game, you're not a good football connoisseur, because the Kangaroos they always hang in there, and just when you think you're getting on top of them, they just find something. And as we see here, they just kept fighting for the ball. They wouldn't let it out of play. They kept it in. And they did the team discipline things there by crossing it into the centre, knowing that they'd probably have an extra man in there.
Michael Mansfield on for the Blues as Shannon Motlop gets his first for the day and his 8th goal for the season. There have been some good performers already as Grant rips it out of the middle for the Kangaroos, down towards the half-forward line. Defending now is McKay, almost coat hanger. And he'll take the free kick. Talk about busy players. Simpson has 8 possessions for the Kangaroos. Kuda Fedes has 7 for the Blues. Ratton has also been busy in his milestone game. McKay to the outer side, and the kick is good. Finding Hot. Looks towards half forward. Kuda Fedes is his target, but he's beaten by Pickett. In front is Byron Pickett. Got several players screaming for it short. And he goes to Carey, who's across halfback. A stunning second half last week when the sleeping giant awoke. Carey booted 7 second-half goals. There's a courageous mark over the flight of the ball taken by Hamill. Might have hurt his teammate in Rice. Lappin, penetrating hand pass. Oh, Hickmott slipped at the crucial stage. Lose it to Motlop to Carey. Colbert.
Abraham just on now, calling for the ball.
Lee Colbert answers that call. Winston Abraham, delightful. Is he a class act or what? Spearing it in towards McKernan. Picked it up well on the half volley. Beautiful smother, but McKernan will go again. He does go again. Back to Winston. Wild Winston heads for home.
Oh, I wasn't too sure about that. I thought that ball crossed over the top of the goalpost. But anyway, the goal umpire has given it a goal. But certainly here, just, you know, players coming out in front. Great for McKernan. Just kept his feet. Took on, gave it off there to Abraham. But just great play. Just lots of players around the ball. And just shows the Kangaroos, Carlton kicked the first 3. Now they've got it replied with 3 goals.
Kangaroos have hit back with 3 quick goals. They just trail by 3 points. Winston Abraham, one of the best kicks I've ever seen for a small player. Gets great distance, so penetrating. A ball up, still inside the centre square.
See, KB, what surprised me here is there's so many different matchups and they keep swapping players, trying to get an advantage. Like Franchina now is tagging Harvey. Blakey's now picking up Campriali. And Grant is watching Bradley.
Just under 2.5 minutes left in this first quarter. Hickmott goes the ground. Mansfield tried to find McKay. Caught Hickmott. Hurried kick. On the end of it is Whitnell. Well, he's been a magnificent player this year. He just continues to be the driving force on the Carlton forward line. Always plays in front. Pushes up, attacks the ball all the time. So quick to get back and find space as well.
This is 4th mark of the quarter.
From just inside 50, Lance Whitnell pops it through.
Well, when you got guys like that who can take marks inside 50, it just makes such a difference to your team because you're getting a shot on goal. But again, just so many Carlton players around the ball there, just in and out at the footy. Everyone just trying to get it forward. Bradley, Mansfield, and again, just Whitnell getting away from Archer and taking a mark. And when you've got players who can do that, it really does make a difference, and particularly in these conditions, which is pretty windy and it's wet. If you can get guys to take marks, well, then you're going to kick some goals.
9 points the margin. Under 2 minutes remain. Good start to this game with Carlton flying out of the blocks. The Kangaroos are applying as only the Kangaroos can. Grant goes down towards Colbert. Quick to recover, but not quick enough. And Abraham held and is going to pick up a free kick just outside 50.
Well, he's such a good kick, Sandy. He could just about kick this.
Yeah, you wouldn't discount him here, would you?
He's got a beautiful, relaxed run-up. And I mentioned before, I think as far as a small player is concerned, I don't think we've seen anyone kick the ball as far as what Abraham can.
55 metres out. Drop punt coming back into the square and slammed defensively over for 1 behind. Hamill, Whitnell, Hickmott and Lappin have the goals for Carlton. For the Kangaroos, it is Colbert, Abraham and Motlop. In the middle, Ratton, where he loves to be, in the engine room. Oh, he did it beautifully to Lappin. Sensational play from the 200 gamer. Down towards full forward. Cotton wants a free kick. Cotton's got a free kick.
Gee, he's been a terrific pick-up, Trent Houghton, playing last year in Eastern Suburban football. Got his second chance. And this year he's played in the ruck, he's played in defence, he's played up forward. He's been one of those players who has really filled a hole. He's booted 6 goals, 1 for the season, so he's been a very accurate kick.
20 in his career. He has been and is a very accurate kick. Good finish to this quarter for Carlton because the Kangaroos were coming back hard.
Good reply too, because Kangaroos kicked Carlton kicked the first 3, then the Kangaroos got the next 3. Now they replied with 2 goals. But just causing a few headaches to the forwards. Like Whitnell's already had 3 opponents, Martin, Archer and Carey. And they're just really stretching the back line of the Roos.
Blues by 14 points. 5 individual goal kickers. Hamill, Whitnell, Hickmott, Lappin, and now Houghton. So sharing the ball around Bradley. Out of the centre square, sets it up to Whitnell. 45 metres out. Lance Whitnell. He's missed. He's pushed it left. That would have been a telling goal. Just 15 seconds left. He's kicked 3 behinds for the quarter. Just 20 years of age. He's been a star now for 4 seasons. Not too many players can come into AFL football and play centre-half forward as Lance Whitnell has done. Makepeace kicks a high ball. Allen should mark. So the siren about to sound. Allen pumps it in. This is a great kick. Hickmott's got it. So a kick after the siren. Now he'll have to run in a straight line here, Jim, because you are not allowed to deviate. Once he deviates off the line, he would be deemed as playing on. So he must run directly to the centre of goals. He cannot move out to the right at all. He's done it well, and he's kicked a great goal.
What a great way to finish the quarter.
2 goals to Adrian Hickmott. And as Jim said, what a way to finish the quarter. They've come home in time on with 3 quick goals. And Carlton has thrown down the challenge to the reigning champions. You might have beaten us last year in the springtime. Now we're on our way back. Dennis Pagan and his coaching staff, including Corby Dare, have some thinking to do as the Blues show the way at quarter time. It is 6:42. The Kangaroos 3-3-21. Here's Matty Allen, set to contest. Capuano's on the ball, and he'll be his opponent. He got a hand to it. Who can win it out of the centre? No one. Ratton, as usual, right at the bottom.
First half, centre clearances were 4 each, so there wasn't a whole lot of difference in. It was real difference really was inside 50 and what they were able to do with the ball. Carlton, which is so much stronger in there, took 8 marks to 2. The Kangaroos 2.
Capuano and Allen again. Simpson lurking. Allen wanted the free kick, said he was held. Hickmott had a great first quarter. Mansfield's hand pass a little proppy. Franchina on the end of it, gives it away to Koutafidis. Gives a little ground, then goes wide towards Lappin. Well taken on the half volley. Gives it to McKay. He was ripped away from the ball. Could have been free kick. Carlton fans think so. Comes back to McKay and he plays on. Down towards the left half forward. Ratton was one of his targets. Camporelli another. It's with him now. Franchina there for the assist. Back to McKay again. And he is eventually forced to head for the line. Archer appears to be in a spot of bother. Takes a lot to hurt this Norm Smith medalist.
Then Archer, such an important player. Mr. Fix-It for the Kangaroos. Boundary throw in on the half forward line. Test of strength. Capuano now in the ruck. Spider Burton on the interchange bench. Archer playing in front of Whitnell. Good enough to get his boot to the ball. Simpson been very handy in the game so far. Running with the flight was McKernan. He's got Silvani. The beat does well. 65 metres out. It's a shocking kick. It could bounce through. Can you believe it? Well, off the boot. Kicking hasn't been one of his strong points in recent weeks. In kicking for goal, he'd be disappointed off the boot. But luck's a fortune here for Corey McKernan. Maybe just didn't quite get his footing, but he did very well here. It was like a blind turn.
Yeah, and as you'll see, Capuano was, we didn't see there on the screen, but was running inside 50. And I'll tell you, if he hadn't kicked it, he would have been pretty disappointed with him.
Shocking but straight.
Yes, well, that's all that matters in football.
It'll be like your putts, Kobe, so long as they're straight. So, the Roos edge closer. Capuano sets himself up against Allen. Fletcher's on the ground for the Blues. Hickmott, he's been very good. Gives it away to Bradley. Kicks towards half forward. They're all up, no one down. Caught some a little unawares for a moment. King and Beaumont head towards the line. Ratton is lurking there, and King just pushed that over the line. And I think he might have been picked up there and pinged. Have a look at this. You can see him. Watch number 34. A little slap.
Oh, yeah, he put that out of bounds.
Been pretty quiet too, David King. Just the one kick. Lappin, on the other hand, has been effective. Centering ball to half forward. Smashed clear of Koutafidis. Pressure on the Kangaroo defence again. Simpson picks it up and pumps it back towards the middle. Silvani leads to McKernan, but he has a fresh air. Comes back to Stephen. This time it's better for Silvani. Off to McKay. He's having an absolute field day. Down towards the forward line. The Blues have the numbers. As Beaumont got the football. Tried to get the hand pass. It was partly blocked. Allen a little too slow. Beautifully done. They're equal to the task, the defence at the moment. Don't worry. Blakey and co. Give it to Grant. Shannon Grant comes through the middle now. Needs assistance. Goes with a short one to Harvey. Tries to draw the player, then sits on his rump. Picks himself up and gets his kick just in time.
Gee, that was great balance by Harvey, wasn't it?
Fantastic.
I mean, he's gone to ground, he's landed on his backside, and he was able to jump up, get balance enough to get his boot to the ball.
Virtually like a pogo stick. You watch. Onto the rump. Bang. Up again. Thank you. And just gets away from Hickmott, and Colbert finds himself shooting for goal.
He was a bit unlucky there, Chris, too, because he was in front of Colbert.
Yep.
He just couldn't hold his footing as the ball drifted back.
He's kicked his second. Again, the Roos, Jim Steins hit back.
Well, I'm very impressed with the way the Roos have started this quarter in the clinches when the ball's there to be won, particularly when it was in the back line a couple of times. They just get in there with numbers and they just be prepared to run the ball out and wait till they get players forward, as you saw here. Just waited until they had, because the only player that had inside 50 there was Colbert. So a good reply.
Kangaroos drag it back to a 9-point ball game. Lee Colbert hasn't played senior football for 10 weeks. He's booted 2 goals. Their gun recruit, Koutafidis, quick hands. They'll share it around Lappin inside the centre square. Pumps the ball back towards centre half forward. Ratton maybe got a shove out from Makepeace. So he'll take the free kick in game number 200. Here's a loose player in front. He's looking for Houghton. He's got 2 to beat. Pike's there. He does well, Houghton. Clean hands under the conditions. Back to Fletcher. Under pressure to Camporelli. Driven into the ground by Blakey. Ball up on 50.
I thought it was a poor option there by Ratton. I think he should have gone back and had a shot for goal. Unless it's really on you and your teammates got 3 or 4 metres.
Very efficient side, the Kangaroos. They average just over 300 possessions a game. The Blues, 350 possessions a game. So the Kangaroos, they don't just waste opportunities. They'll pile on top, and again a ball up. 6-6-42 Carlton. Kangaroos 5-3-33. Troy Makepeace on screen. Just a young man still making his way in the game. One of the players who didn't play in last year's grand final. Got 5 Kangaroo players. Lappin, wild kick off the boot. Kept alive, lucky bounce, good play by Hickmott. Nearly trapped by Houghton, taken away by King. Loves the run with the ball, wobbles the ball forward. Being marked here by Whitnell, who wants 50, and he's got it.
Oh.
So Glenn Archer has given away 50. And Lance Whitnell gets a pat on the head from Franchina. Now, I think that's a very lucky 50. He's come up, he stood on the mark. He didn't really bowl him over. I don't really believe he even chested him. Lance Whitnell has done well. Maybe a Golden Globe, not an Academy Award, but he's done well.
KB Archer's coming off the ground after that 50-metre penalty.
Well, generally, Dennis Pagan does take a player off if he gives away 50. I think it was a tough call on him. Whitnell wobbles a kick forward, marked by Carey.
Oh, he played on there and he took the ball out of bounds.
Well, the umpire says, yes, you're correct, Jimmy Steins, because it's a boundary throw-in.
It's a good decision there. Because you can, you know, as you'll see here, he got in front of Koutafidis. Great mark.
Then step back over the line.
Yeah, it looked for someone.
Boundary throw-in, chance, Koutafidis kicks a goal!
He's unbelievable, Kouta.
Well, that's good play because they've got the ball out of the centre, the last 3 centre bounces, and they haven't been able to convert from it. But there eventually, as you'll see here now, Archer is coming off the ground. You see the replay there, they just got numbers. Houghton got his hand to the foot, he brought it forward, and Koutafidis was there to mop up and put it through for a really good goal, an important one at this time. So that's the answer that Carlton have been looking for.
Glenn Archer having a spell as Dipper suggested, dragged and no doubt being spoken to by the man on your screen at the moment, Dennis Pagan. So the Blues sneak clear again. It's going to be nip and tuck. Silvani and McKernan. Silvani leads in the race, and he slaps it straight to Clayton. That could be very costly. It's a poor kick over by Clayton. They're still slipping a little. Oh, taken high was Simpson, and he's going to get a free kick.
Gee, that looked a bit ugly. Don't think he needed to do that. There was so much pressure under everyone there that he wasn't going to be able to do a whole lot with it.
He's been a very busy player so far. 12 possessions, 9 kicks, 3 hand passes. And has been one of the Kangaroos' form players this season. He's drifted that across the face.
Jimmy, we've got Koutafidis now a centre-half forward with Carey a centre-half back. And Ratton also playing around about the full forwards area with Troy Makepeace on him.
Well, we did see Ratton kick 6 goals here earlier in the year. And maybe they're looking for a repeat of that.
McKay tucked in the back pocket. Short to Hickmott. Those two players have been very good. They will get out of trouble. The Beaumont hand pass goes back to Hickmott and eventually does kick it high and long. Hamill the flyer! Oh, welcome back to earth, Aaron Hamill. But it was no mark. Simpson's got it on the outer side. Flicks it inside 50. They'll go again. Christou was at the back. Shannon Grant forced onto the right foot, and he's bent round a beauty. What a goal by Shannon Grant.
Yeah, you call that. That was a terrific goal. On the boundary. Didn't have much between the ball and the line, but he was able to just kick it. It was a bit of a Peter Dacos kick, the way he just creeped it over. But you see here, Hamill, huge leap, just straight through his hands.
And this is a great kick, because you'll see here, he actually means this. He kicks it on the right angle, the check side, so the ball would spin back into goal. Magnificent goal. Well, they don't come any better than that.
Corey now back at centre-half forward. A lot of moves have been made out here, boys. Don't worry about that.
And Carey's just dropped back again on Whitnell at centre-half back.
So the Kangaroos edge a little bit closer. They trail by 8 points, 7-6 to 6-4. Christou playing in front. Lappin goes the ground. The tackler was Winston Abraham. Kelthorpe had it and lost it. Camperelli on the burst from centre-half back to Ratton. He's got those quick hands. Fletcher goes the ground. Hamill. They'll pay advantage.
Yep.
Not quite certain whether it was an advantage there. King goes the ground. Harvey had it, also lost it. Desperate play across half back. Going in very hard. Mighty Mick Martin flicked it out, looking for Bell. He was met by Bradley. Hamill has got real presence across the half-forward line. Tried to drill it, looking for Beaumont, who's way off target. Kicks the ball alive, squeezed it in for a boundary throw-in.
Actually, I made a mistake there, because I saw Whitnell and Carey, but actually Whitnell has gone back to centre-half back on Carey. Now he's gone back forward and Colbert's picking him up.
Boundary throw-in. Houghton doing the ruck work. Camperelli has been averaging 31 possessions a game. It's been an absolute star like this man. Koutafidis pumps the ball to the square. Allen, can he kick a goal? He's got it.
So I'd like to see that a little bit closer again, because it looked like he used his hands. He sort of pushed him off and did a bit of a pretty smart play. You'll see it here. Kouta's just drilled it along to the goal square, which was just good. And Allen, no, that's fair enough. He got him on goal side and was able to hold McKernan out, or Capuano.
And did it very well, because he kicked the ball very low, because Capuano was desperate for the smother, but he actually kicked it along the ground, which was a smart play.
14 points the margin.
It's been really good too, Allen, going forward this season. He likes to get down there, and they always look for him when he's inside 50.
Here he is contesting with Capuano, who wins it. Taken away by Bell. Down towards 50. Clean bowls McKernan. Silvani and McKernan. The race is on. Rice is there to help Silvani. He soccers towards the line.
Both Colburn and Carey now playing the back line. They've got McKernan, as you mentioned there, Sandy, playing in right at the centre-half forward area.
Yep. McKernan edged out of it by Hott, who's found himself a free kick.
Well, Carey actually hasn't touched the ball this quarter.
Otten's been okay. Wobbles a punt towards centre wing. Hamill in hard. Allen with skill to Hickmont over the top. Quick hands, Mansfield. Another one, Beaumont, almost too quick for Beaumont. His was partly smothered, but he's able to slap it onto Bradley. Back to Allen. They're giving a little ground to set something up here. Oh, watch out, Hickmont. You're going to have to be quick, and he is. Away to McKay. Another one is a beauty. They're running now. Franchina, 55 from home. Goes long in towards full forward. The free kick goes the way of the Kangaroos. It went to Mickey Martin, but the advantage was paid. And the Roos are out of trouble. Now Harvey making a chance. Houghton intercepts, and he does well. Comes through strongly. Looks towards half-forward. Koutafidis is taken out of it.
Gee, that was good play by Trent Houghton. He really hit that ball hard.
And he had to win it or it would have gone down the other end.
Here's Kuta in towards Hamill. Needs a kind bounce and will eventually run out of room in that left forward pocket.
Just really not the place to put the ball. If you're going to kick to a forward, I always say if they're going to lead into the pocket that deep, don't kick it to him. Go and look for someone up the corridor.
In the left forward pocket. Simpson at the back. Not out yet. Blakey, but there's been a whistle.
Colbert was crunched.
Yeah, and he's going to take the free kick on the last line of defence. Good to see him back playing footy. He's had a rough trot. Gives it away to Simpson, who wants Carey. Carey and Koutafidis. It's a fair little appetizer, that one, isn't it?
Great contest. You sort of get a sense, though, that while teams are making changes, they're still waiting till late, you know, sort of well into the third quarter to really start throwing up their trump cards.
Capuano, short. Colbert wants to pop it over the top. And he's put a little bit of pressure on Motlop. McKay comes in. He wanted that ball. He went hard. Colbert goes again. Silvani, Hickmont, handing like a hot potato. Motlop close to the line. Bends it back up towards the 50. Rice is going to have to beat a couple here. Gee, does well. Dean Rice did remarkably well, but he's put it down the throat of Pickett, who casually takes it with the one hand. He could just about do something extraordinary. Here he goes long in towards Winston, and Abraham marks it full forward. 20 metres out. A chance to kick the Kangaroos' 7th.
Well, he read that beautifully. There's plenty of players there. Even McKernan nearly spoiled it on him.
A couple of players coming off. Colbert off the ground with Shoal back on.
Here's Abraham. He goals.
I got to say, while the Kangaroos are kicking goals and just staying in this game, it means that Carey can play that role around the middle and defence. But I reckon later in the game he'll probably go forward a bit like last week, where he went forward and kicked 7 goals. And then it'll just turn the tide, just when Carlton started to get a little bit comfortable. It's an important goal there to kick and just keep the Kangaroos in this game.
Lee Colbert taking a break. He's booted 2 goals. So he's playing his first senior game since round 1 against the Cats. So he's been out for 10 weeks from senior football. Spider Burton also on the interchange bench. Capuano. He's been doing all the ruck work for the Kangaroos in this second quarter. Clayton started on the bench, just fires the ball out wide. He's looking for Pickett, cross half back. Great tackle, goes to ground.
Great tackle.
It's Ryan Houlihan playing his first game for the Blues. Came in to replace Fraser Brown. So a big moment for the youngster. Kicks the ball back to centre half forward. Kuta was there, he leaves it. Ratton. Keen to play on quickly, does well to Hickmott, who is a much underrated player. McKay comes down from half back and will be shooting from 45 metres out.
Well, I got to say there with Ryan Houlihan, he's come on the ground, and a lot of players are remembered for first kick first, and they kick a goal. But to set up a goal here from a tackle like that is just terrific. It's inspiring, and it really will lift his teammates.
Well, Australian halfback Andrew McKay has been in outstanding form this year. He's booted 2 goals for the season. From just inside 50, unloads, big kick, hammers it home.
Well, that's his 89th career goal. And the way he's playing at the moment, it'd be a fairly warm favourite to take up a defensive position in the All-Australian team this year.
It's just great here. Watch him. He grabbed his hand, the hand that he had the ball in, so he just couldn't even get it so he could handball it. It's just terrific. Really inspiring goal. I'll just give Carlton a little bit more of a breathing space.
Carlton at the moment have the ability to answer any Kangaroos challenge. There's young Houlihan. Lovely first kick for him coming onto the ground. Up against Pickett as the Sun makes a welcome appearance over Optus Oval. Burton back on the ball. Bell off the ground, down towards the half-forward line. McKay's just kicked the goal. He's had to go back to the half-back flank now, and he's done it again. Tried to get it across to Rice. This time loses it, however. That's got to be a free kick. No, the advantage is paid. Fletcher picks it up and gives it away.
No advantage. I don't think the umpire,
not happy.
I don't think the umpire paid the free kick.
I don't think he did either. McKay to the outer side. That's okay. Finds Mansfield. Michael Mansfield on the outer wing of Optus. Lance Whitnell is a target.
He wasn't in front. It's a good decision there by the umpire.
Attempted theft, I think we'd call that.
He's giving 50 metres because Lance Whitnell wasting time trying to con the umpire. He took the mark.
Interesting statistic here is Carlton have had 56 possessions, the Kangaroos 33, but yet the Kangaroos have kicked it one more goal.
That kick's going to put them inside 50 now. A couple of players shoved in the back. McKay will pick up another possession. He comes towards centre wing. Archer's just back out on the ground, and he'll be pumped up. Don't worry about that. Flies with a high ball inside 50 once more. Christou got a hand to it. Rice was there also. Puts his body in, and will get the free kick, Dean Rice.
Matthew Allen's dropped back to the forward line, and Archer's picking him up, so it could be a bit of a mismatch there.
Fletcher. McKay wants it short. He elects to go a little longer. Kuda with him, Carey, and taken over the line with Pickett.
There's two good players playing, and every time it's a one-on-one, one always brings the ball to ground.
14 points the margin. Burton trying to protect his territory. Bell around the body. Scholl, the diving Scholl, on centre wing. Settling towards the 50. Silvani's taken out of it.
He took McKernan out of it. He grabbed him and pulled him around.
McKernan went to ground. You're right, Jimmy. He picked it up. Carlton fans are livid.
Now, it's a good decision. Pretty happy with the umpires so far today because it's easy to get sucked into a Carlton crowd.
McKernan from 50. In fact, kicking from 52. Normally a prodigious kick. That's a wonderful kick for goal. Corey keeps the Roos there with his second for the quarter.
It's just great having someone who can kick goals from outside 50. It always makes a difference. You watch the teams that make the final 8 usually have 1 or 2 forwards who regularly kick goals outside 50. Just a thumping kick, and must have kicked that nearly 60 metres. But this is really important from the Roos. They just got to hang in there till half time.
Well, he's a super athlete. He's kicked 21 goals for the season. Adrian Hickmott taking a bit of a spell. Barry Mitchell, Carlton fitness advisor, also with him on the interchange bench. And Adrian Hickmott didn't look really happy. He's been a pretty handy player in the game so far. He's had it 14 times. He's taken 6 marks and he's kicked 2 goals. And he's warming the bench. Ratton was clever play to Houghton. Just dribbles a kick still inside the centre square. Hume hit the ball hard. Kangaroos, they just keep forcing the ball forward, averaging 50 possessions less than Carlton a game. Very efficient. And Hamill marks out wide. Fletcher did well for the Blues. Kicks the ball short and finds Bradley. He's across the half-forward line. Now Matthew Allen is being picked up by Mickey Martin. Now he wants the ball kicked out to his left. Bit of space. McKay comes down again from half-back. Kicks wide. This is a great build-up for the Blues. Mansfield. Nearly a fingertip to the square. Whitnell looks dangerous. Big fist away. Hit the pack hard was Calthorpe. Goes short the bell. He's going to be run down. Great chasing that time by Camporelli. Now he's given a free kick. A high tackle. Down the field. He closed quickly. Simpson just belts the ball back towards McKernan. He's got Silvani from behind. Hamill covering a lot of territory. Now the whistle again is gone. Carlton player down was Fletcher.
McKernan's is dropped Fletcher.
Silvani is upset. McKernan stands his ground. Scholl also lends a hand with Hamill, but the play goes on and Mighty Mick's got it. At centre half back, pumps the ball to space. Grant, room to work in. Traps the ball. He's been such a good player today. He's booted 2 goals. Archer has been on and off the ground, does well and finds Peckett. This is where the Kangaroos are dangerous. They've got their backs to the wall, edge of the centre square, pumps it long. Carey looks dangerous. Nearly took a one-hand up. Good defensive play by Silvani.
No, he threw it.
Now it's a throw.
He threw it, no doubt.
So he's been pinged by umpire Sheehan. And Wayne Carey, let's have a look at it. Hamill's got it. Tickled the ball along. And he was pinged. So Wayne Carey yet to kick a goal today. He's been playing at centre half back. Bit of a run on the ball as well. The King has kicked 25 goals for the season. 35 metres out. You can tell by the roar he has missed.
A very important 5 minutes now in this game. Christou brings it out short to Hamill.
Particularly in time on, this is a real time where if you get a couple of goals, you just give your team a lift going into half-time and really fires up the spirits.
Beaumont was a centimetre away from playing on then. Mansfield goes long. Koutafidis. Big fly. Waiting down is Camporelli. Carlton looking to reply in towards Allen, who marks 46 metres from home.
Well, so far this quarter, Carlton have only taken a mark inside 50 twice, and in the first quarter they had 8. That's really been the difference for them.
Koutafidis 15 possessions so far for the game.
He's right at the peak of his game, Koutafidis.
Allen, 7 possessions so far, but a chance to kick a big goal. An important goal, but he's away to the right, one behind.
Just gave it too much height there. When there's a breeze blowing across the ground, you need to just keep it a bit lower when you go for goal.
8-point ball game. And a very good contest. There's David King. Made his debut back in '94, but he's one of those players you think's been around for decades. Archer to the outer side. The sun causing a few problems for players again. Not so Blakey, who looks in towards Burton. Oh, look at him sprint across the 50. Spider heads for home. But he starts it right, and it's one behind.
There's been a lot of players miss goals from sort of 45, 50 out today, particularly when they've been on their own.
Christou brings the ball back, goes short to McKay. He's been very good again today. Abraham did well. Rice. Well, he's got to be admired, Dean Rice. Started with Geelong, went to St Kilda, premiership player with the Blues. Knee reconstructions, still hits the ball hard. Fletcher beaten over the line. So a toss back in, 61 plays, 54, 9-7 the Blues, 8-6 the Kangaroos. 8 individual goal kickers for Carlton. Rotating forward line, doing some damage. Burton. Sat on the bench for most of this second term. Allen in front to Hume. Body over the ball, tackled by Grant. Again, a ball up on centre wing.
Just looking here, McKay's had 12 possessions this quarter. He's just been a tremendous player for the Carlton team over the years.
And Koutafidis has been, again, outstanding. 15 possessions. He's also kicked a goal. He's taken 3 marks. He's just got a real presence about his game now. Koutafidis. Simpson has been a star also today. Makepeace, 50 metres out. Belts the ball to the goal square. Christou will have to get back. Calthorpe is quick. Not quick enough. I'll toss it back in. And Hickmott still on the interchange bench with Stephen O'Reilly and Michael Mansfield as well. Not quite certain why Hickmott's on the interchange bench, because he has had a big game, 14 possessions and 6 marks, and he's booted a couple of goals. Been very damaging. McKay, they do share the ball well. Hume, some fancy footwork, just tripped the light, fantastic, and then belts the ball back. King, he's got Beaumont to beat, does it well. 70 metres out, it's a hurried kick, a centering kick, and finds Blakey. Well, here's a thumping kick, John Blakey.
He hasn't done a bad job on Campriali.
309 games from the point of the square. Koutafidis has read it well. It's been magnificent again today.
Kick.
And finds Beaumont.
To get someone like that deep in defence, when there's players everywhere to create a counter-attack.
So Kuta strutting his stuff at Optus Oval. Dean Rice stood his ground, hits the ball hard, coming through as Camporelli. It's a good tackle by Durko. They'll pile on top. 54 plays, 61. The Blues in front.
The Roos would love a goal now in this time-on period, just to try and level the score before they go in.
Under 2 minutes remaining, Jim. Burton with the height advantage. Bradley could have been tripped. Flick back towards the middle. Silvani. Away he goes. Lappin. Fraction too high for him. So now he's got to defend. Push towards the line. And in the end, done pretty well. So we've got a throw in on centre wing. That was young Makepeace.
Been pretty impressed with him today. He's done his job. He's tight. He's not afraid to get in and get hurt.
Troy Makepeace. Burton and Allen lock arms. Well, that was extraordinary.
That definitely looked like a free kick.
Colbert head down. Fletcher coming the other way. Christo over the top. Durkay a little toe poke straight out to Allen. Off to McKay. 1-2. Another possession. Put Ratton under the pump. Equal to the task. He finds Hickmott, who's delighted to be back on the ground. Gives it back to Camporelli. This is dangerous now. Caught in the tackle. Off he goes to Lappin. Lappin's like a piece of wire, but he gets caught. Could have just about been pinked, and he is. Makepeace off to Carey. Carey lopes across half-back, then heads to the outer side. The diving Peter Bell. Best described as a slips catch. He has it on half-back. Nice to see a full house here at Optus. Great atmosphere. Whitnell, a short kick, again finds the line with only seconds remaining. Carlton led by 21 points at quarter time. The defending champions have pegged that back at the moment to just 7. Burton and Allen again. Won by the former. Simpson, another poke towards the line. King and co see it over.
Well, I'm sure the Roos will be pretty happy they've been able to slow this game down, and particularly in the defensive zone. A lot tighter this quarter. Maybe a little bit is to do with the fact that the breeze is sort of helping him a little bit.
Houlihan having a spell again. Again, Burton and Allen lock bodies. Silvani at the bottom. Ratton farms it out to Hickmott. It's high and it's wide. Close to the line. Another throw-in.
I know I mentioned McKay before, but for 2 quarters of footy, he's had 19 possessions from the half-back.
Simpson's been very good for the Kangaroos too. He's had 18 as the siren has sounded. Pretty much a line ball, Jim, at the long break.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I think both teams will probably go in knowing they've got a fair amount of work to do if they want to win this game. They've been trialling players all over the ground, pushing players like Carey's been up forward, in the middle, down back. He had a shot for goal there late in the quarter. But a lot of the hard tags are working. Like Blakey's doing a good job in Campriali, and King's been tough in there. But Koutafidis is obviously a bit of a light, and he's had 17 possessions. And with Allen going forward is causing a few problems. But really, we've got a pretty good game on our hands here.
Certainly have, Jim. It's half-time. 21 points was the margin at quarter time. 7 at half-time. Carlton a 9-7. The Kangaroos 8-6. Second half about to commence here at Optus. Burton up against Allen, and it is a bounce that favours Burton. Can't get away cleanly. King tries to dash through, passes Harvey. Lappin, the hand pass, like lightning to Koutafidis, off to Hickmon, dragged off the ball, and Kuda and co will lock it up for another bounce.
That move at the start where Carey and Koutafidis played on each other, I think it's better for Carey to be away from Koutafidis because he runs so much and likes to do his own thing. But now we got Carey starting in the forward line. Silvani's picking him up.
McMartin's got Hamill. That's an interesting bounce. Rice, Burton. The big man did well to try and get the hand pass away. Simpson got crunched and still is. Koutafidis got it out, but it's Winston Abraham who kicks it clear. Christou and Pike. The latter picks it up now, gets away from McCabe. Penetrating kick. Houghton getting back on it. Will he concede? He'll keep it in play. Hickmon can run it to the outer side or go short to Bradley. He chooses the latter option. Bradley's at half back. Important for Carlton to get a flying start if they're going to have a chance in this game. As Dipper said, the breeze is probably worth 2 or 3. Whitnell gives it to Rice. Down towards 50. The juggling mark is not paid to Koutafidis.
He's been good, Simpson, today. That was a great defensive play.
Harvey's been quiet. He almost stumbles over the ball. Franchina, though, to his credit, has done a good job.
Franchina's been very good. He does limit good players, and Harvey last week was a star for the Kangaroos when he beat it 4 goals. Also after half-time, he's such an important player, Brent Harvey. Around goals, he is dangerous, but Franchina has been very good today. Ball pumped back for the Kangaroos. Silvani. What a match-up that'll be in this second half with Carey now playing on the forward lines. And desperate play by Silvani, takes the ball over the line.
Also, if you look at McKernan, he's now got Houghton, and I just reckon that will suit the Kangaroos. It's an opportunity for McKernan to get on top.
Well, a chance for the Kangaroos, a boundary throw in 35 metres around from goal. Carey doing the ruck work, leaves it for McKernan. They'll share the ball around. Motlop is there, but this man McKay has been magnificent again today. Wobbles the ball back to 50. Simpson's been very good. Bundled over by Koutafidis with strength to Hickmon, who was crunched as he kicked the ball. Camporelli goes to ground. Mighty Mick driven in the ground by Koutafidis. Great play by Kuda. To Mansfield, edge of the centre square. He's looking for Ratton. Too much carry on the ball.
Why he didn't give that handball out to Whitnell, who was all on his own on the wing, is beyond me.
Pickett goes short. Maybe the Kangaroos can hurt on the rebound. Wide to Grant, who's been a good player. Back to Makepeace. Great smother by Mansfield, the veteran. Desperate to make it with the Blues. Pumps the ball back. Allen should mark over the top. Big fist of players. Clever play. Beaumont gets it out to Hamill. It's a wobbly old kick into the pocket for a boundary throw-in.
Testing couple of minutes, the opening minutes of this second half. Carlton desperate to stretch their lead. It is 7 points at the moment.
It just seemed to be Carlton just seemed to be playing a little bit better as a team, whereas the Kangaroos have a lot of individual players playing well, but not all playing well at the same time.
Burton and Allen. Ratton tried to get it into this space. It's pretty hard to find space in that forward line at the moment. Blakey and co do well. Simpson goes to the outer side. Harvey, desperate to try and get into the game, goes wider towards Carey, takes a wonderful diving mark. On the outer wing, he looks towards McKernan territory. A little too far for him. Fletcher dropping back. Houghton did well to stop the run of the ball. Flick back towards Fletcher again. Taken off at once. Goes again and is going to get a free kick.
Yeah, over the shoulder.
No scorers yet in this second half. That was a little aggressive by Winston.
That could have been 50.
It is. Just a little too aggressive at Ange Christou, and it's going to bring him from defence into attack. He's going to be kicking from between centre wing and half forward. Kicks to the 50. Whitnell's the target. Edged out. At the back is Bradley. He can run. The 36-year-old chipping in short, chipping in beautifully. Hugh Franchina, who's been very, very good.
Great awareness there, because Bradley had an opportunity to have a shot on goal, and he was having a look, sizing them up, and then He just looked inside and saw Franchina there, and a beautiful little kick on his left.
7 goals, 3 so far this season for Anthony Franchina. The young man from the Calder under-18s is going to be kicking from 35 metres. It should not be a problem for him. It shouldn't, but it was.
Got to kick goals like that when you get an opportunity, and particularly when you're tagging someone like he's tagging Harvey. Just put some pressure back on your opponent.
Got to take that opportunity, don't you, Jimmy? As you mentioned all day, they're missing too many simple goals in that area.
That was a bad miss. 62 plays, 54, 9-8 the Blues, 8-6 the Kangaroos. Good grab by Grant, just pushed Hickmott out of the way. Harvey starting to win some of the ball now in this third quarter. Tries to drill it, but McKay. Well, he is simply just too good across half back. He's also comes down, he's kicked a goal. He's looking for Ratton, game number 200. Magnificent mark, quickly inside 50, backing back was Cooter. He's got it again, gives it to Mansfield, who should kick a goal.
Just a great mark there out on the wing by Ratton. Just, he had 2 there, he got up, took the mark, played on as quick as he could. He had Koudafides inside 15, he kicked 2. Just couldn't go, as you'll see here, just read it really well against Grant. Turned inside, got it deep, what we'd call over the half in the inside 50. And just when you got extra numbers there, you're always going to be a chance to kick a goal. Just a good goal there to Mansfield.
Michael Mansfield kicks only his 3rd goal for the season. And Dennis Pagan looks a little perplexed. 68 plays, 54. Burton in the middle against Allen again. Won by Allen. A couple of Kangaroo boys almost crunched each other then. Mansfield, he held it for a long time. Interesting hand pass to Koudafides. Almost got it down towards the 50. Harvey tries to block it. It's still on 50. Lappin surges it forward. He's got to get past Mick Martin. Martin ridden into the ground. The ball is held. Carlton fans want a free kick. Kangaroo fans want a free kick for a push. Neither. Great tackle by Hamill.
Great tackle. Just out of the centre, though, that tap from Allen was just great. He just pushed it forward, led his players to run onto it. And he's just so devastating when he gets his hand and gets those clear taps.
Archer's kick is smothered. Camporelli gives it to Hamill. He's got to bend this back a long way. And it's a huge ask. It goes out of bounds on the floor.
It was a strong play by Adrian Hickmott then. He really met Glenn Archer face on. It was a desperate play, and the Blues have been very desperate. But don't underestimate the Kangaroos. They'll just keep on coming. They don't need too many opportunities. King.
Gee, that's a bit of a risk.
Transfer of play. Kicks the ball to space. He's looking for Makepeace. He needs a kind bounce. Fletcher closes. It's 3 against 1. The Blues should win out. Makepeace has done well. Magnificent play by Troy Makepeace. He's got 3 Carlton players to beat. No assistance from his teammates. Now Grant comes on the scene. Good tackle, a crunch. Hickmott tried to paddle the ball out. Grant the tackler. But Troy Makepeace, take a bow. And a pat on the head as well. 3 players to beat here. He was so desperate to hold this ball up. He just wanted some assistance, Jim.
Yeah, he's really good. And how quick he gets back on his feet. It's quite phenomenal.
Ball up on the half-forward line for the Blues. Ratton was looking for Mansfield. Toss back in. 68 plays, 54. Blues in front. 2 goals to Adrian Hickmott. He's their leading goal kicker. And for the Kangaroos, 2 to Lee Colbert and 2 to Winston Abraham and Corey McKernan. Grant wins a lot of the ball. Calthorpe playing in front. First time I think we've seen McKay beaten today. A lot of pushing and shoving. Silvani just has those long arms to wrap up an opponent. Carey paddles the ball along in front. Again, he was knocked over by Silvani. McKernan dribbles it along the ground. McKernan
Umpire said it's out. Umpire.
has ruled that the ball did go over Dipper. Thanks for that.
It's a great match-up now on Koudafides with Simpson. So I don't know if it was there. It was pretty close. But it's interesting seeing Simpson picking up. He's now had 20 possessions. And on Koutafidis, who's also had 21.
13 minutes remaining, 14 points the margin in this third quarter. Abraham goes to ground behind play. Martin is slung. An attempted sock off the ground comes back to Abraham. His kick was pretty well smothered. Kuta says, I'm getting rid of you.
He played well for that free kick.
He did it the wrong way, did Kuta. And now Winston might make you pay a fairly hefty price. In towards full forward. Slap clear. Oh, the Rovers are waiting down. And Peter Bell can kick a Rovers goal. Peter Bell gets his first for the day. And again, we've got an 8-point ball game.
Just really good play here. He just played on really quickly. Abraham got it into that sort of dangerous zone just outside the goal square, and Bell was just pounced on it. But something I noticed there, one of the supporters threw it looked like an apple or a full pear at Abraham after he got that free kick.
Blues by 8 points. They're led by 7 points at half-time, 21 points at quarter-time. Spider Burton. Eyes off Matthew Allen. So important, the centre clearances. Allen has been very good. Spider gets his hands on the ball first. Harvey has lifted his work rate. To Simpson, who's been very good all day. 22 possessions. Carey, McKernan, they clash. Loose ball. Silvani pulled off the ball. Will take the free kick. So a lack of understanding that time between McKernan and Carey. Carey was in the box seat to take the mark. Franchina has had the job playing on Harvey. Mansfield starting to gain some confidence. Bradley, the playmaker, sets it up to Ratton through the centre square of the half-forward line. Camporelli in front, the big fist. It came from Blakey. Camporelli hit the ground running. Closing quickly was Motlop, and he did it well.
Yeah, this game certainly got up another gear, boys.
Yeah,
we saw there, that was a bottle.
It looks like it is a bottle.
Yeah, it is a bottle.
Yeah,
that's shocking.
Some moron threw that onto the field. Can you believe it?
That's unbelievable. Well, it was at Victoria Park when the can of beer was thrown.
Grant puts the ball back over the line for a boundary throw-in. 68 plays 60. 10-8 the Blues. 9-6 the Kangaroos. Replay of last year's grand final. Both played 7-3 so far this year. Two evenly matched sides. And it's been a great contest at Optus Oval. A full house. Great to see the legends stand also. Chock full today as Rice pumps the ball high. It's one for the Brave. Whitnell stands underneath it. Simpson showed courage. Great footwork that time by Beaumont. Finds the skipper. Bradley, 35 metres out. Rams it home.
I tell you, KB, you don't see players do that very often. And Beaumont, that was just terrific. He looked out left. He had no one. He took a spin inside. And he found Bradley, but just, again, Carlton having the numbers, but Beaumont there just dumbing the handball, looking inside, and Bradley, who rarely misses from that distance out, and just kicked it nice and low, basically letting the ball do the work. But really important goal now, just to push them back out to 2 goals again.
They just seem to be able to hold that buffer, Jim, at the moment, don't they? 14 points. Allen floating high, but it's Simpson who was taken high. Hickmott then asked the question. There'll be another bounce.
So in the centre there, Allen is so good. He just keeps getting first hand on the ball and pushing it. And it just looks so dangerous. Burton's really got to start putting his body in a bit more, rather than reaching out for the tap. Reach up for it. Get your body underneath the line of the ball.
Well, he did reach up on that occasion. Didn't come out with it. Hickmott's in there once again. So too Mansfield. And Koutafidis somehow gets through extraordinarily heavy traffic. This could really hurt. This could really hurt. In towards Camporelli. Play on! And he does! 2 quick goals that could creating a little mini break here, Jimmy.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And certainly putting the Kangaroos under a lot of pressure. But the person who's really very impressive for me is Koutafidis. He's just always in there. He's always involved in a goal, in the play. As you'll see here, he's just in really close to his teammate who tried to kick it, but he sort of took
Still
it
got
off
the
him.
strength to keep going, and the hand pass with either side.
Again, just being in there again, running forward. And this is a great mark and goal for Cambriali.
Scott Cambriali has been averaging 31 possessions a game. The Blues now 11 individual goal kickers.
And have a listen to that crowd. They're really getting behind their team.
And Anthony Koutafidis is inspired. He's been magnificent again today. So has Bradley. He's really worked his way into the game.
They've brought Capuano back in now, and as you saw there, I'm sure he's been told you got to get in there and contest the ball. You got to put your body on the line.
12-8 plays 9-6. Blues in control. Koutafidis on screen.
He's had 6 handballs this quarter, Koutafidis.
Ball handling has been just fantastic. He's been a one-grab player today. So much confidence. He's at the peak of his form. Makepeace marks in front of Fletcher. Feeds the ball back. Clayton thumps the ball deep into the forward line. The Blues had the numbers. Houghton dropped an easy mark. McKernan sets it up for Pike. 45 metres out. He doesn't miss. They won't go away. The Kangaroos. They're a magnificent club.
Well, they're just not allowing them to break out too far, and as you said, they were getting a break there, and that was what they needed. But Houghton here should have taken that mark, and it's just so costly. When you're inside 50, you make a mistake, and you get punished, and the Kangaroos will punish you. But just a really, really needed goal there from Martin Pike, as they've got to stay in touch in this quarter.
The Roos coaching staff watching Martin Pike jog back to his position after kicking his 6th goal for the season. 6 without a miss too for Martin Pike. And that was a very important one, and again keeps them in touch. And it's Bell out of the middle, a high ball wide. Dean Rice got rid of his opponent in Winston Abraham and did it very well. Rice, it's not a pretty kick, comes straight back to Martin Pike, the goal kicker. Couldn't take it. McKay gave it away back towards Pike again. Ratton around the body. Allen will steady it down. He's 70 metres from home. And not a lot on offer. So he goes towards Beaumont. He effectively got rid of his teammate, almost arrogantly throwing David King to the back of the classroom. And he took front spot to have a shot. And this is what Carlton have been able to do, Jim. They have been able to answer the challenge.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely. They're just getting marks inside 50, which really makes a difference. Like in the first half, it was Carlton 11 to Kangaroos 4, and in this quarter, they've had 3 marks inside 50. Kangaroos haven't taken 1.
15 possessions for Beaumont, and he's kicked a goal.
He's really given them a lift this quarter. He set up that other goal with Bradley, and now he's on the end of that one.
12 individuals have kicked goals for Carlton.
It's impressive. It just shows you, though, it's just a good all-round team effort. And I was really impressed with them in the first half. The way they just playing for each other, not waiting for someone to actually stand up, but just all having a go and all contributing.
The Blues showing plenty of spirit against the Kangaroos. 13-8 plays 10-6. Allen doing well in the ruck. Fletcher, much improved player, just belts the ball back to 50. Archer, too strong. Goes short, sets it up to Mighty Mick. Cross half back. And a great smother off the boot by Fletcher. That's what made the Blues so good today. They've hit the ball very, very hard. Going in hard was Bell. Now he's got the free kick.
Kick in danger, I think, KB.
Yep.
Well, I'm just looking up the end of the ground, other end of the ground with Carey, and really, he hasn't had anything this quarter, and the reason is the ball's not coming up.
Martin found Makepeace to Simpson, who's been very good. Clayton started on the bench. Carey's in the square. He's got Whitnell guarding him. Here comes the King. Couldn't take it. Capuano can. Matthew Capuano. has had his fair share of injuries. Such an important player for the Kangaroos. Premiership player. Just gives that extra added height.
And you got to do that. If you're going to go forward as a ruckman, you've got to be able to take a grab, and to do that on Mallon.
Hasn't kicked a goal this season. He's had his fair share of injuries, 45 metres out. He's trying to bend it back.
I don't think that looks good.
And he's got it.
Well, again, they just keep staying in the game. The Roos, I think the furthest they've been out of it is 3 goals, and every time they get there, they just pull a goal back. But they got it back in that corridor there, where it's really dangerous, and it's good. Capuano stood up. He had Carey coming over the top. It just puts a little bit of doubt in the mind of Allen. But he's just been a master in the centre.
He's sort of the forgotten player at the Kangaroos, obviously, with Corey McKernan taking most of the ruck work. He's been injured over many, many years, but he's such a handy player around the ground.
72 plays 86. Important again out of the middle. No one effectively able to clear it, and we will have another ball up.
And it's really important here for Capuano, at least making a contest, not allowing Allen to just palm it where he wants.
Capuano in picture. Koutoufides is lurking. Simpson is right there with him. Smashed wide, but taken by Harvey. Gets a little bit of space eventually, then wobbles a kick down towards Colbert. Couldn't get a hand to it, but the door opens for Simpson. Simpson goes for goal. The Kangaroos come bouncing back down towards Carey. The ball is taken over the line by the King. Frustration showing on the face of Carey as we've got a throw in the right forward pocket.
You'll just see it here, yeah, coming in, and I suppose he probably should have taken that mark, Carey, but Simpson and Koutoufides playing an interesting game on each other, both running to attack.
The Abraham hand pass, he held it for a long time, put his teammate under the pump, pushed back towards the middle of the ground. The race is on. Hamill and Archer. Archer leads in the race. Sockers off the ground, goes over the head of Hickmott. Now Hickmott and Calthorpe. Bang! Crash! Down they go. But they pick themselves up again. McKay does well. Gets a hand pass wide towards the line. Too far for Clayton. And it's a throw-in. Throw-in on the outer wing. Almost a big clash there between Calthorpe and Hickmott. Koutoufides attempting to take it out of the air. He's going to pick up a free kick. Wants Lappin and finds him on the outer side. In front of the scoreboard that shows his side leading by 14 points. Whitnell used the body pretty well. Couldn't get a run at it. Bell has to come into the open spaces. Now the race is on. Manton. Spent considerable time on the bench. Gives it back to Silvani. Oh, Stephen, it's a shocker. Clean bowls the lot. Beaumont finishes on his rump. Bell gives the hand pass away to Capuano. He goes short to Shannon Grant. Carey wide is used now, and he can lope towards centre wing. Kicks in towards half forward, and Christou playing in front takes a fine mark. Colbert, as KB has said, playing just his second game for the season and his first for 10 weeks. Going to take him a while to get back into the flow. That kick has come back towards Clayton. Clayton gives it to Archer. He's able to keep it in play. Short little one again, this time marked by Colbert. 5.5 minutes left in the quarter. Lee Colbert goes to half forward. Cooter will come and fly for this. Eventually it was Abraham coming over the top. Mansfield pounced on that pack. And the umpire decided with Simpson at the bottom of it, there'll be a bounce.
Simpson should have been able to take that mark. Abraham basically spoiled him.
Yeah.
Ball up on 50 for the Kangaroos. They trail 11-6 to 13-8. Silvani gets the call. Camporelli goes short and finds Ryan Houlihan. Placing Fraser Brown in the selected side. Just his first game. Mighty Mick in front. Got bundled over that time by Whitnell. Loose ball, Carey. Back edge of the centre square to Harvey. Better in this third term. Too much carry on the ball. Capuano just wobbles the ball inside 50. Ange Christou in front of Colbert. who gets bundled over at the same time by Silvani. Rice, Koutafidis has been magnificent again today. It's been unstoppable. Mansfield, touch of class, some dancing feet, comes away and pumps it back. Centre half forward King. Rebound football by the Kangaroos. Loose player out wide, edge of the centre square. Makepeace. Got the bounce he wanted. Sets it up short to Grant. Danger here for the Blues. Can run to 50. Can kick it long. Harvey wants it in the square. In the end, poor kick.
Dipper, you still think that breeze is worth 2 or 3 goals?
No, it certainly died down halfway through this last quarter, buddy, third quarter, but still a fairly strong breeze.
Yep, so it's a handy little lead then for Carlton with under 4 minutes remaining in this quarter. Christou slams it onto the ground a couple of times. You'll hear a mighty woof in a minute if he lets fly with a big drop punt.
He's got no one to go to, though.
Well, there was a woof, but it was an underground woof. Blakey does the shepherding for King. He can't keep it in.
In fact, I think
Scott Camarelli just you're having a few problems, old boy.
I think there's been some good signs for Ange Christou today.
Yep.
He's really struggled to find his best form since he had the back problem and was out of football for such a long time. But just today, he's just reading the ball a little bit better. There's a bit more confidence in the way that he's attacking the ball.
Whitnell wins it down, palmed it straight to Blakey. Houlihan couldn't take it. Calthorpe at the bottom, gives it to Archer. Gets through heavy traffic, but it's eventually picked up by Lappin. He spirals it towards Koutafidis. Spoiled. He goes again, Kouta. He hasn't got the ball. And he's going to get a free kick. He was ripped off the ball.
You can see he had the ball there for a moment. I thought he was going to get out, and he just couldn't. You'll see him here. He
dropped it. That's
get it, yeah.
Well, it may have even been slightly kicked out of his hand by Martin Pike.
Yeah, possibly. Carlton fans are only worried that Koutafidis has it in front of goal.
Well, just on this, they really need this goal. They need to get a bit of a buffer by three-quarter time.
Well,
because, sorry, just with the win with them in the last quarter, the Roos could come over the top.
This for a 20-point lead, and he's got it. The old chewing gum's getting a real working over now from Dennis Pagan.
Well, that's good. It's sort of, I suppose, when you get into time on, again, this is where you want to be kicking the last few goals, and it's just so important for Carlton to have that buffer going in. But the Roos have got to get the ball up forward, and they've got to get Carey back in, and it looks like they have. They've brought Carey down the ground.
Well, Koutafidis at different stages of his career has threatened to be a star player, but he now is a bona fide star player.
He's actually got the full forward now, Koutafidis.
Capuano takes it out of the air. Simpson, who has worked so hard today for the Kangaroos. 23 possessions and 5 marks. He's kicked a couple of behinds as well. Kangaroos trailed by 20 points. They trailed by 7 points at halftime and 21 points at quarter time. Dipper tells us they'll be coming home with a breeze in the last quarter. King, check side kick, looking for McKernan. Had Manton to beat. McKay across half-back has been so good. And Fletcher, bit of an unsung hero, goes short. Silvani to Ratton. The playmaker does well. Great tackle that time by King and smother off the ball. They'll keep on coming, the Kangaroos. Motlop's come off the bench. It was a look-away handball. Ryan Houlihan hits the ball hard as well. Going in was Ratton. Playmaker does well. It was quick hands back to Houlihan, who does magnificently well. Tried to find Rice, intercepted by Abraham. They've gone up a cog. The King hits the deck. Coming through hard was Clayton, bundled over. Coming through is Pickett. Had his head ripped off. Taken by Winston Abraham. Rockets the ball wide. It's a big play for the Kangaroos. Makepeace pumps the ball back. McKay, a rare mistake. Archer with strength. 45 out. This could bounce. It's going to bounce. Hamill takes it over the line. Big play by the Kangaroos. Big quarter coming up here at Optus Oval.
Gee, there was some fine individual stuff there. Houlihan was one. Ratton was another. He lost it in the tackle, but then he immediately replied with a stunning tackle, celebrating his 200th game. He's only missed a couple through injury. He's had an extraordinary run, Brett Ratton.
But Sandy, after 25-minute mark of each quarter, Carlton have kicked 4 goals, and Kangaroos haven't kicked any. So obviously that's what the Roos will want to do now, is get a goal before they break for 3/4 time.
Just 1 minute remaining, Jim. 19 points is the margin. Rice goes close to the man on the mark. Hott takes a good mark. Plays on quickly to Bradley. Those 36-year-old legs get him pumping down to half forward. Martin is the spoiler. Cooter, look out. Fletcher. Fletcher for goal. How will it bounce? Beautifully for Carlton. Big goal, that one.
Well, Sandy, that is huge, and that makes it 5 goals in that time-on period after 25 minutes, and pretty crucial there. Great mark from Houghton. Gave it off to Bradley. And Kudafiti's coming right out from the goal square, gave them a contest where they were able to just get onto the ball, and just Fletcher, really good, important goal, which gives them an extra buffer. It'll be difficult to see the Roos coming back now.
The Blues by 25 points, just over 30 seconds left in this third term. 13 individual goal kickers. The AFL record is 16 by the Bombers. Who knows? It might be a day for records. Harvey wobbles the ball from that centre square. McKernan was the target. Rice just weaved his way back through trouble. Set it up to Winston Abraham. Just couldn't quite take the advantage. Silvani had it and lost it. Pulled off the ball by Motlop. And a free kick.
A throw.
And it's coming back, and it's going to the Kangaroos. And it's going to the King.
So that's a little bit soft, because the Roos just don't look dangerous when the ball's inside 50. Not like Carlton.
Well, just a few seconds left. It's an important kick for the Kangaroos. Carey yet to kick a goal. Directly in front. 30 metres out. Carey straight through the centre.
Well, it's a goal to the Kangaroos, but Silvani is absolutely furious with umpire Martin Ellis. And this is why he's saying it was a throw.
Pretty good throw.
Although he did try to handball it.
No, he just threw it, Jim.
He threw it.
Just threw it.
Yeah, but his right hand, like he was bringing it around to try and get a flick of a handball.
Jim, I tell you what, the Wallabies would be thrilled if they could come up with something like that against South Africa.
There's no point arguing about that. It was a throw, and Wayne Carey has made them pay. We're all set up for a big final quarter here at Optus. 98 plays 79. The two sides that played off in last year's grand final. Carlton trying to exact revenge. The Kangaroos, their pride. Mansfield, penetrating kick for the Blues. Oh, marked by Hamill. Hamill takes the mark, 35 metres out, and he can give them a flying start.
Well, that was a flying start from the centre. Just a great Mansfield coming through, but a good strong mark in front of Archer. And Kudafiti's also standing on the ball.
Both of these sides have 7 wins and 3 losses at the moment. Carlton has a pretty good percentage of 123. The Kangaroos is 104. Hamill sneaks it in. Sneaks it in. That's all he had to do. So Carlton get what they wanted to start this final quarter.
Well, I'm sure that's exactly what the Kangaroos wanted, but you see this from the first throw-in. Capuano tried to drop it back to Simpson there, but Mansfield just read it better and got in between. Just a great centre clearance. The kick a goal that quick into this first quarter will now really put the Roos under pressure.
Great start by the Blues. They lead by 25 points. Allen has been so good in the ruck again today. Capuano starting there for the Kangaroos in this final quarter. Diver said they're kicking with a couple of goal breeze. Rice around the corner, back to the edge of the centre square. Mighty Mick against Whitnell. Looking for someone to feed it off to. Hands and knees. Wild handball, didn't really hit a target. Bradley to Capuano, Camporelli. just paddle the ball along to Blakey. The Kangaroos under pressure in this last term. And Ange Christou starting to find some form.
They're just going to need another lift, really lift from Harvey and Carey and McKernan and these sort of guys.
Big kick to centre half forward. Ratton, playmaker on hands and knees. He was looking for Franchina. He's done a pretty good job playing on Harvey. Pickett, the juggler, gets it back. Kelthorpe around the corner finds Durkay. He's across half back. Kangaroos need a quick reply. To centre half forward, McKernan. Playing in front was Mansfield. There was no mark, loose ball, pounced on that time by Grant. He's worked hard today, hands and knees, Ratton. To Kuta Feedes. He's done so well today with his hands. He's been a one-grab player, Winston Abraham. Backtracks, concedes ground to Blakey. Feigns the hand pass, gets around Hickmott and just belts the ball back, looking for Carey in front. I thought he might have been manhandled. No free kick. Whitnell, a hurried kick back, and Rice stains his ground and takes a good grab.
Gee, it's a real arm wrestle, isn't it, at the moment?
Carey's still complaining to the umpire.
Yeah, he's had a bit to say today, sometimes with some justification. Rice to half forward. Kuta was the flyer. He's had 27 possessions, Kuta Feedes, today. Hickmott made a great start to the game, then inexplicably was benched for some time. So too was Archer when he gave away a 50. But the Blues are in the box seat at the moment, leading by 25 points.
Sandy, I reckon that wind is actually turning around a bit, and it's now against the Roos in this quarter.
We'll get an update from Dipper in a moment as he wets his finger and sticks it into the air.
And it still says they're coming across the ground. And look, if any advantage it is with the Kangaroos, there's no doubt about that, Jimmy.
Well, yeah, it'd be pretty slight, though.
25 points in it. Bell hurriedly back towards the centre. Calthorpe takes the mark in front of McKay. He's been one of the best on the ground today, Andy McKay. Whitnell can't get a run at him. He does get an effective spoil. Lappin caught, but he did get it away. Fletcher, clear. Carlton has the numbers. They go wide to the outer side. Franchina got a shove, and he's got the ball on the outer wing.
He's been good play, Fletcher, for the Blues today. He's really stood his ground today.
Yep. This is Franchina down towards half forward. Kuta looking for a free kick. Archer hassling Hamill to the line. And we have a throw. Glenn Archer, built like an army tank. Allen and Capuano. Getting reasonably dark here at Optus now. And a whistle has sounded. A little throw has been plucked out. It's going the way of the Kangaroos. It'll be taken by John Blakey. This wonderful veteran kicks from half-back, and it's a penetrating kick too, towards the long arms of Corey McKernan. Time is not a factor at the moment. There's 16 minutes remaining. McKernan wants Carey. Whitnell is a double-fisted spoil. Calthorpe can't get clear. Smashed towards the line. The Carlton defence standing up. Harvey under the pump. It's pushed to the line. And we've got to throw it in. Big game, this.
Well, it's pretty tight. Harvey's been kept to about 13 possessions. Franchina's just doing a terrific job on him, but he's really got a lift, and other players alongside him.
Lose by 25 points. Carey wobbles the ball back over the line for a toss back in.
He's just got no room down there. Like, Carey's taking a grab there and the throw in, but you've got players everywhere. They've just got to open it up, create a bit of space.
McKernan do the ruck work with Allen. They'll lock horns. It was a test of strength. Silvani too strong for Bell. Kicks the ball back, the half-back flank. The big fist was Mighty Mix, and ground level is Clayton. He's been caught high. Too far out to score. McKernan says kick it short.
They've got Allen now dropping back.
Carey's the target. He's got 3 to beat. Allen thumps it to the front of the pack, picked up by Camporelli. It's a high ball. Abraham stood his ground. Kelthorpe with strength, kept his body on line. Hickmott, some fancy footwork, was caught. Rice desperate. Abraham, clever play to Durkay, to Bell, concedes ground to Archer. Stands and delivers, kicks wide. He's looking for Grant. That's a very good mark taken by Mansfield.
He blacked that, didn't
just starting to find some of the touch that saw him in All-Australian on a couple of occasions. And Fletcher, a much improved player. Hamill, can he take the grab across half forward? King closed quickly, goes to ground, kicked off the ground that time by Bradley, and finally forced over the line. Ratton was on his own running towards goals. So Craig Bradley, the oldest man in the game, gets up off the ground very slowly.
KB, this is one of the better games we've seen this season.
It's been a terrific game, a great contest. Players very strong at the ball today. Bradley slaps on, so does Lappin, inside 50. Harvey on the burst. A ball carrier, edge of the centre square to centre half forward.
A high one, Whitnell tries to get a fist. He's quick to recover, and he goes again to Lance. Little 9-iron chip is effective to Hickmott. Smack bang in the centre of Optus Oval. He goes wide to right half forward, and he finds the 200 gamer in Brett Ratton. The lead is on, the pass is there, and it's a beauty. Beaumont, he's a left footer. He can swing around now and head for home. He needs it to bend back. It does. Oh, mark in the back by Kuta Fides.
Well, you've got to say, we've all seen them play the last time in the grand final, but certainly Carlton are a much better team this year. They're really, it's a game second against third, but they're really playing like they deserve to be in those positions on the ladder.
And hasn't this man turned it on this season? Right on the line, he's going to bend the check side back. Let's do it for Brett Ratton's 200th, shall we? Let's do it. Kuta gets his third, and you'd have to suggest Carlton are now in the box seat.
Oh yeah, I'd agree with that. Kuta-Fides had 28 possessions. He's kicked 3 goals, and that's just terrific. But he just came from behind the Simpson. I just think they need to make a few changes now. The rules, if they're got to go on the attack, and they got to get guys to win the footy and get it down quickly into their forward line.
Kuta-Fides strutting his stuff at Optus Oval. You can see the bookmakers turning the odds down now for the Brownlow medal. 79 players, 110. Kangaroos come forward. Chance for McKernan. Good defensive play by Manton. Camporelli cleaned up that time by Silvani, and Ange Christou gaining in confidence as his mate Kuta-Fides stars. Pickett, great off the ground. Carey, can he weave a bit of magic? Mighty Mick, ball half smothered off the boot. Pickett, with those dancing feet, goes short. Great vision. Finds Bell.
Oh.
Another wonderful smother. That time by Silvani, was it? Hands and knees. Christou tries to get the ball back. In fact, that smother came from Stephen Silvani. And you wouldn't think anything less of Stephen Silvani. Tight game. Put your body on the line.
They're just playing inspired footy now, Carlton. They know they've got the win at hand, and they're just all playing, giving 100%, the whole lot.
Hamill. It's a wild handball towards the line. Still plenty of time. Over 12.5 minutes left for the Kangaroos. Dennis Pagan on the blow-up.
Archer's moved forward for the Kangaroos.
Well, they might throw all the big guns forward. Rice caught that time by Durkee. They'll get a ball up.
Problem is, you can push people forward, but unless the guys in the middle are winning the footy, the ball ain't going to come down there, and that's why Carey's forced to drift back up and try and get into the game.
Well, Mick Martin's also been dragged right up by Lance Whitnell. Coming through hard. Franchina has done a job today, chipping in his Pickett.
He's on the outer wing. The Kangaroos aren't out of it, but they need a couple of quick goals. Harvey, can he provide the spark? Sends them inside 50, and Mickey Martin, the 250 gamer, maybe he can do it.
Well, he's not known for kicking goals, but apparently in '97 he did kick over 100 goals. He was a forward. 87.
87. In fact, I think it was 96, Jimmy, to be totally precise.
In the under 19s.
Yeah,
86. He kicked 96 goals, I think.
Yeah.
He's got to kick right to left here.
So he can kick a goal. No angle to speak of. He's almost directly in front. It's a big kick. Is it going to make the distance? It has. Mickey, it's your 250th, and you might have done it. So Martin gets his 15th goal. He has kicked a few, Mick.
His first goal this year.
Yep, 15 in his career.
He would have kicked, I'm sure, most of them early on, but it's just good. They just need these goals, and they need more players to get down there and kick them.
Capuano having a spell with 11.5 minutes remaining. Mick Martin gets his first goal for the season, celebrating his 250th. It's not over yet. Out of the middle, so important. Camperelli tried to soccer off the ground, ineffective. Bell comes through, an important one. Carey couldn't take it one-handed. Manton gives it to Silvani, to Christou. Ange goes one way, then the other. Decides to head to the outer pocket, putting it in front of Fletcher, and he's more than happy to see it dribble over the line.
It's not a bad move to put McKernan in the ruck, because really he hasn't been giving them a really good focal point up forward. And a guy like that, you never know what he might do on the ball.
Just the 2 goals from Corey, both of those in the second quarter.
Blood rule here we've got coming off is Glenn Manton.
I think Mansfield's coming off with the blood rule
As well, he's coming off. Manton,
Yeah, the bench has certainly been used a lot today, boys. Obviously, a lot of moves been made off the bench, and as you see, the 2 boys coming off.
Obviously, Manton was doing a job on McKernan and doing a good one, but now that he's gone on the ball, they need a smaller. So I think Hume.
See the blood there coming out of the eye of Michael Mansfield.
Could have a nice shiner in the morning, but he's been very, very competitive, Michael Mansfield, and really trying to cement a place in this side. Calthorpe playing games with Andrew McKay, and I think McKay has been one of the best on the ground. Could have a little more of a say in that.
Free kick. McKernan.
So suddenly Corey might come into play. As I said, 2 in the second quarter.
He's in the perfect position to kick a goal here.
He's 55 out, and he can kick a long ball dipper, as we know. 55. It's going to be very, very close. I think he's there. I think he's kicked a goal. A big goal for Corey McKernan and the Kangaroos. He's got 3. We've still got a ball game.
Well, as you say, just getting him on the ball was good, and he just got in front, got the front position, and he earned the free kick. Because when you're behind, you're not going to get those ones. But a great kick from that distance. And if you look, Kangaroos have been inside 57 times to Carlton's 4 this quarter, so they're really starting to put the pressure on and making a game of this.
McKernan's booted 3 goals. They drag it back to a 19-point ball game. Simpson has been so good today for the Kangaroos. Grant, it's a hurried kick, still inside the centre square. Rice always stands his ground.
Important mark, that one.
Pumps the ball wide. He's got a loose player in Lappin who can run to 50. Lappin, a centering kick. Whitnall's the target. Great kick.
Terrific cross there. Mick Martin just was heading for goal and got caught up with a teammate in King. Just allowed him to get on his own, but good vision there. So they're King and Martin just colliding a bit. Well, I reckon if he kicks this, KB, you'd have to say there's not enough time.
Well, he's booted 25 goals for the season. He's their big gun up forward. Doesn't let him down. He's got 2.
He's taken 7 marks, and most of them have been inside 50. He's just such an important player to the Carlton team, and I reckon he's really taken a step up this year. And also Lappin, you know, he kicked 4 goals last week. But just the vision there to find Whitnall inside 50. And I'd have to say now that's one of the nails in the coffin.
The Blues appearing to have all answers at the moment. McKernan on the ball, 116 plays, 91. 25 points in it. Still time. Allen beats McKernan. Camperelli, out of the middle they go, courtesy of Koutafidis. Long to half forward. The mark spilt. Pressure on the defence. Pike tries to shrug a tackle. Gets a hurry kick back towards centre wing. Peter Bell is gang tackled. Gets it wide to Shane Clayton. Clayton onto the left foot and under pressure kicks it straight to Koutafidis. He chips it high again towards the 200-gamer in Ratton. 31 possessions now for Koutafidis. Ratton for Hickmont. floats across the pack, but he can't take the mark. And again, it will be Pickett who comes away. A couple of bounces and then transfers play back towards the centre. It's a poor option because Adrian Hickmott pulls in a beauty. He gives it to Silvani. Silvani pokes it out in front of Rice and Whitnell. They're going the long way home, and Mickey Martin is there. Beautifully tackled. Whitnell again. Gets the hand pass off to Rice. Carlton having the numbers. The Kangaroos, the desperation. Comes wider towards centre wing. Now they're clear. Pike takes it from Motlop. They need a goal here. Down towards the 50. Silvani, crashing defender that he is. Blasts into Archer. Archer tries to chop his way past McKay. He can't do it. And Silvani, tired as he may be, gets a long defensive kick back towards the half-back line where it's taken over the line. What a game effort this is.
Just good courage by both players. Archer to go at the ball knowing he was coming over the back. But just the endeavour here by Carlton and just getting that extra number down there.
Well, Motlop tries to get it out towards Blakey. Hamill's right on his hammer, and he just shoves him over the line. 8 minutes remaining. It looks a bit like the walking wounded there, doesn't it, with Michael Mansfield patched up. Glenn Manton having a spell.
O'Reilly and Trent Houghton also on the interchange bench for the Blues.
So to Barry Mitchell. What a grand little player he was for Sydney and also Carlton. Here's Ratton, another possession for him. Christou getting better as the day goes on. Beaumont almost stole it from Hickmott. Time against the Kangaroos now. The bell hand pass is okay to King. Long to full forward. McKay's got to stop this. Simpson gives the hand pass away towards Calthorpe. He's under the pump, loose it over the boundary line, and we've got another throw in.
It's interesting. Koudafidi's back down there in defence.
Well, he's everywhere, Jim. He's all over the ground. I mean, we know he's got this great athletic ability, and he just seems to be so fresh and so nimble on his feet. You know, he's really springy the way he's running around the ground. Of course, he's dominated the game again today. Simpson's tried hard on him for certain stages of the game, but he's such an influence at the moment, Koudafidi's. Pickett was the high flyer. Coming through hard was King to Harvey. He's found it hard, really, to break clear today. Clayton pumps the ball back. Brave attempt that time by Silvani. Loose ball, they'll share it around. Grant to Archer. Looks for Mighty Mick, who's kicked a goal in this last quarter with strength. Can he beat Whitnell? Backtracks. Conceded ground, gives it to Makepeace from right on 50. Great kick!
Yep.
It's kicked a goal! Still they keep on coming.
Well, as you said, they keep on coming. It's one thing that the Roos won't do, and that's give up. It doesn't matter where it is. Even if they have to play the last minute of the game and they're still 5 down, they'll just keep coming back. There was good eyes there, and nice to see Mick Martin there starting down. And it's interesting, Whitnell picking up Martin down the other end of the ground, but Makepeace just on his left. A great kick from that far out, nearly on the 50, and just pulled it around nicely. And it's an important goal.
29,778 fans here at Optus Oval this afternoon. Many of them hoping to see Carlton continue their winning run as Koudafidi's blasts out of the centre. Fantastic play. Beaumont couldn't quite hold it. Pike comes charging out of defence, back towards the middle. Hamill stands his ground and stood it very well. Hickmott gives the hand pass out to Fletcher. Allen is the target, and he finds him on the corner of the square. Allen goes into the pocket. Cooter's the man. He is the man. Don't worry about that.
Is he ever?
Now, I'll just get the calculator out because this is possession number 34.
Well, we just made mention of the fact he was in the back pocket here, squeezed up nearly against the point post just a few moments ago. Then he took the ball out of the centre, and now he's marking on the opposite side of the ground on the half-forward flank.
There'll be
And it's the 21-minute mark of the last quarter.
And he's kicking for goal number 4.
How many Koutafidis are playing today?
As the red ball says, Koudafidi's on it.
Oh, golly. This will cap off his day. This will cap off his day. 4 goals.
Well, the bookmakers will be getting a bit nervous now on that Brownlow medal, because he just keeps shortening his odds every week. As you'll see here, Allen just getting away. McKernan was down the other end of the centre square. Just left Allen on his own. And a beautiful kick there on the left to just find his teammate Koutafidis on a lead.
Well, it's worth repeating. 34 possessions to Koutafidis, 7 marks and 4 goals. Bradley was tied up, loose ball. Simpson has battled hard for the Kangaroos. He's won a lot of the ball himself. And this time, a free kick is going to Silvani now. Wayne Carey has been disappointed today. He's been grappled with every time he's gone for the ball. And his opponent has received the free kick. Finds Ratton.
He really hasn't done a whole lot today, Carey. And no matter who's gone on him, particularly Silvani, he's just played such a great game and getting in front there.
He is due for quite a one, though.
Ratton has played well in game number 200. He's had 27 possessions. He just keeps winning the ball. Hickmott has been a dangerous player as well. Hamill tried to push his opponent out of the contest. Makepeace kicked into his teammate. Loose ball, Koutafidis. Quick snap. He's kicked the goal. Kouta has kicked 5.
Well, what about that? I don't know, KB. You're giving the votes, but I can't see anyone beating him for 3 votes today. And he is just great. Look at this. Carlton fans are just going mad out there. They just can't believe it. And Makepeace nearly knocked out his teammate. But what else do you do to stop a bloke kicking a goal? You drag him down and he's still kicking them.
5 goals, 35 possessions. It's got to sneak somewhere in your votes, I'd imagine, KB. 128 plays 97, 31 points the margin. Under 5 minutes remaining. They won't be going to cruise control yet, but they're not far off at Carlton. They've certainly won this game. They've done it for Brett Ratton. He's been a magnificent servant of the club, but also they've shown us the Carlton of this season. Play on at all costs, be direct, concise, Houlihan and clean. Houlihan high towards the 50. Mickey Martin locks arms with Whitnell. Bell does the roving down in front. Chip short to Harvey. A quieter Brent Harvey today, and certainly not as direct as Franchina, who has been very good. Fine stopping game. Goes to Silvani. I would imagine he'll still be talking about that so-called throw, Stephen, for some time. It matters not now, as Bradley and Ratton are close to the line. And Bell taken to ground by Bradley, who obviously didn't appreciate something that was said. A throw in on centre wing. Allen and Ratton. Ratton gets a short kick. Down towards right half forward. Oh, Kouta. That was like magic, I think. I think it was. Camberelli goes short and finds Mansfield, but was it magic, Jim, or did my eyes deceive me?
I thought he just threw it to him.
That's what I thought.
He picked it up with one hand and handball with the other.
There's the kick. That's wide.
Got a replay of that, Sandy. He just picked the ball up as if it was like a marble.
I hope so.
He's got enormous hands.
Here it is.
Yeah, just a quick...
It's almost sleight of hand, isn't it?
There's not many players who can do that with a football.
Well, there's not too many players that can do what Kouta does, full stop. Bell in the back pocket.
Kicks the ball back towards the half-back line. McKernan has booted 3 goals today for the Kangaroos. Koutafidis. What a game he has played to McKay. One of the consummate defenders in the competition, Andrew McKay. Harvey was pulled off the ball. Will take the free kick.
Hasn't done a whole lot today, Harvey. Franchina's just worn him like a glove.
Cross half-back. 17 possessions to Brent Harvey today. Colbert
Just doesn't have anyone to kick to.
kicked a couple of goals. Just his 8th possession. Has been on and off the interchange bench. King, big torp to the square. Rice will be happy to see this just tumble over the line for a behind. 20 goals, 8, the Blues, 128.
Well,
Kangaroos, 15-8, 98.
Sorry, KB, but I remember seeing them play Essendon and Carlton, and I thought they were way off the mark, but now they're an enormously improved side since then.
Manton finds Bradley, who finds Hume, centre wing. Plenty of run in the legs of the Carlton players. Allen always pushes forward. He's such a dangerous player.
Got Beaumont short if he wants him.
And Beaumont is short. Bit too much carry, but he does it well. Loose player in the square is Hamill.
That's a bit too ambitious, I think.
Bit ambitious.
A little.
So just a wave of the hand there for Aaron Hamill. Pickett to bring the ball back. Just over 2 minutes left in the game. It's been a great contest. One of the best games we've seen this year in terms of endeavour and players really putting themselves on the line. Kangaroos have just been hanging in there all day. Just couldn't quite bridge the gap. And then the Blues in this last quarter have just been able to put the foot on the accelerator. They've been magnificent all day. And Koutafidis has been simply great today. An amazing game. 37 possessions, 7 marks and 5 goals. Pickett can't get around Houlihan. Makepeace will mark at the back edge of the centre square. Calthorpe is loose. He's got a chance to run on. Closing quickly was McKay. This is going to bounce in the square. Could bounce through. Rice! Desperate.
Yeah, he just keeps going right. He's a great competitor.
I think this epitomises Carlton today. Absolute desperation. Silvani having a spell, so Christou brings it in and finds Hamill.
The impressive thing about Carlton today is anytime the Roos tried to mount a challenge, Carlton always had an answer. You know, they started off early with 3 goals, and then the Roos came back, but then they kicked the next 2 or 3. It just kept going for the whole day, and they just kept pushing the lead out.
O'Reilly on centre wing. Towards Lance Whitnell and Ryan Houlihan.
I was listening this morning on the radio, and John Longmire was talking about North Melbourne, and they just haven't been able to play big games when their teammates have made milestones, like Mickey Martin playing 250 today. But they rarely win those games for whatever reason.
Yes, it's an interesting one. Colbert has it on half-back. He heads towards centre wing and half-forward. That man's name is Koutafidis. He gives it to Hamill. Hamill goes via the cape to Ange Christou, who woofs it to the outer side. Andy McKay. He's got rid of the ball. Calthorpe persists. Tries to slap it forward and gain a few metres. But McKay's been very, very good today. He's had 22 possessions and 7 marks. Ratton has had 29 possessions and 7 marks. Hickmont's had 24 possessions and 10 marks. Koutafidis has had 38 possessions and 8 marks. He's in a different class, of course. To half forward, and Colbert marks in front of Whitnell. But he needn't worry about the kick because Carlton have exacted some revenge from last year's grand final. They have turned the tables and they have been comprehensive 30-point winners over the Kangaroos. This is a day that Brett Ratton will remember for a long time. It is Ratton's 200th game. What a wonderful player he's been for the club, and I'm sure he'll be lifted from the ground.
I certainly have, Sandy Okuda, another fantastic game by yourself, but a really important win for the club today.
Yeah, it was. Look, we haven't been north in 5 years, I think, it's been 95 preliminary finals, so it was a big game for us today, and if we are, to improve, I guess you've got to win these ones, and we did. It was a great effort.
And, personal effort, mate. Week by week, the last 5 weeks, you've just taken control of the game. You must be feeling on top of the world at the moment.
Look, I feel okay, but I'm just more happy that the boys are winning, and, we've strung a few together now, and we're sitting second on the ladder, which is great.
And Brett Ratton today, a special effort, 200 games.
Special player, Russ, so many years, so consistent. The boy thoroughly deserved. I played them under 19s, and we've come a long way since then.
Good day, mate. Catch up with him now.
Yeah, look, they're giving him a standing ovation, and he's been carried from the ground, Brett Ratton. He has been a magnificent man in the engine room. There was Diesel, and now there's Brett Ratton. Carlton, 30-point winners here at Optus Oval.
Okay, Carlton fans, let's show Brett Ratton and the team what we think of them.